Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. So today I am doing my August update for my Deck of Panning Project Pan. I am so excited. I have been waiting for this all month. I don't know how many of you guys remember how terrified I was of this project when I first started it. I was so intimidated by this project, and here we are. It has become my favorite project. So this project was created by Emily from Emily and Max, who was inspired by a booktuber named Books with Maddi, who came up with a way to use a deck of cards to gamify her to be read pile. And we're just doing the same thing with our makeup collections. Emily has a game board for this project that she shuffles every month just to keep things fresh. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to link Emily, Maddi, and the game board for this project in the description box below. So let's get to it. So usually I will write down all of the cards I pulled and the prompts they corresponded to and the products I chose in this little book. I did not do that last time. I just did not, didn't have the brain space. Summer has been wild. Work has been so busy this summer, which is interesting because I work in the book industry. So usually the summer is our slow season, but it has not been that way. I don't know what is in the water, but it feels like every single client I have ever had in my career has emailed me this summer. It has been wild. So I didn't write down the cards that I pulled or the prompts they corresponded to. So all I've got here is my sticky note that has the products and the uses. So the first thing we're gonna look at is my Salt New York Sneaky Balm. This is a little cream-based product. Oh my goodness, why is my camera focusing? Focus, look at this. Do you see this? Do you see this 2014 nonsense that I'm having to do with my camera today? But look at that, that's where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and put a screenshot of what it looked like at the beginning of the project because we've actually made some decent progress here. It's a cream product, so I don't feel like these are as difficult to get progress on as like a powder product of the same type might be. But yeah, we have definitely expanded the pan. The Salt New York Sneaky Balm is a very lightweight, balmy, sheer to light coverage product that just gives you a little bit something extra on those days that you don't want to wear foundation. And it really lives up to its name. It is very sneaky. A thin layer of this on the face will give you just a little bit of coverage, but you can't see it on the skin. It is genuinely invisible. On my combo oily skin, it is not the most long-wearing thing, but on those days when I don't want to go totally barefaced, but I just don't have the time or the energy for a full face of makeup, I love this thing. My goal was to use it 10 times, and I did indeed use it 10 times. Ooh, I actually took a weight on this one as well. It came into the project at 6.21 grams, and after 10 uses, it is now weighing at 5.38 grams. The next one that I pulled was also Salt New York product. This is the Salt New York Cream Tint Pro in the shade Beige. It is a highlighter. It is one of the most gorgeous highlighters in my collection. If you look at it really close up, you might be able to see a little bit of shimmer. But from any normal distance, it's just this gorgeous, just sheeny, I did my skincare kind of glow, and it is lovely. I don't often think to reach for highlighters, and so this one was just kind of sitting in my palette, sort of languishing. But while I was already in there for the Sneaky Balm, I figured I would get some uses on this one. So it came into the project at 9.52 grams, and after 10 uses, it is now at 9.25 grams. So some nice symmetry there. Is that a dog hair? Oh my gosh, that's a dog hair. Oh, there's no escaping it. Okay, next I pulled Hula Toasted, which I have in this little Benefit Hula Treasure Island duo. It comes with Hula Toasted and Krista in it. Hula Toasted is definitely a summertime, like the depths of summer only type of bronzer for me. And so this was the perfect time to get a little bit of use on it. It is still deep enough that I do have to go in with a light hand, even when I am at my deepest. But one of the things that I love about this bronzer is that it just has this, it has a red undertone is what it has. And I just find that incredibly flattering on my skin tone. So that's Hula Toasted right there. So this came into the project at 55.48 grams, and it is now at 55.40 grams. This next product, I believe, was for the prompt eyeshadow, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But this is a product that hasn't gotten enough love in my collection, and that is the Maybelline Color Tattoo Eye Chrome in the shade Cocky Cool. This is just a beautiful olive green liquid eyeshadow. That's it right there. I have used this as an eye base and also as a lid color. I'm using it as a lid color today, and it's fabulous. It is fabulous. It blends out beautifully. It's super pigmented, creamy. It does not get patchy. As an eye base, it sets down and is bulletproof. It's such a good product. I don't even know if Maybelline is making this anymore because the only ones I could find online were from Amazon. But if they're not, that's a tragedy because this is just a genuinely really good product. However, it is the only one here that I did not completely make my goal on. I had the goal of 10 uses and I actually only used this one 8 times. However, because I'm only 2 uses shy, I think I'm still gonna pull another card in place of this product. I will still get my last 2 uses on it, but I also wanna have something fresh to bring in. I know that a lot of my usage goals here are pretty low. Generally speaking, I go for 10 uses. That's not a ton of uses. I usually don't include before and after photos in this project simply because there's usually not a lot of visible progress. However, I have a really short attention span, especially when it comes to my makeup. And so about 10 uses is kind of where I need it to be in order to feel like it stays fresh and interesting every month. You know what I'm saying? So this Maybelline Eye Chrome came into the project at 23.47 grams, and it is now at 23.23 grams after 8 uses. Last, I have my Pat McGrath Balm Blush Stick in the shade Divine Rose. What actually is this called? The Legendary Glow Color Balm. Okay, Pat, fine. I feel like if you want a really fancy name, then I need you to be packaged a little bit better than ColourPop. Like, this is ColourPop packaging from Pat McGrath. I at least expected like a magnetic close or something, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Pat's brand these days. I don't know. But this is the color right there. It is gorgeous, and as much as the packaging annoys me, especially because it came open in my purse once. That was not fun. That was not a good time, and I was very unhappy with Miss Pat for her life choices when that occurred. However, as much as the packaging annoys me, this is a beautiful product. It is a very balmy formula and it does not set down significantly. So if that bothers you, stay away from this. But this is just one of the most beautiful, juicy blushes that I have in my collection. It has this gorgeous glow and it's juicy. It makes my cheeks look juicy, and I just don't know what more I could ask for from a blush. That is just my dreams right there. I don't know about you, but I want juicy cheeks. So I really, really enjoy the formula of this blush. It is not the most long wearing on my combo oily skin, especially in the warmer weather, but oh my gosh, is it beautiful while it lasts. Really, really love this blush. So this came into the project at 30.29 grams, and after 10 uses, it is now at 30.08 grams. So I did get a little bit of use in there, and I'm happy to have done so. Okay. That is all of my products that I have been working on over the last month. It is time to draw some new cards and pull some new products. I am so excited. I've got my little Mandalorian deck of cards that my husband got me. How cute is that? Here is the red and black Joker. I'm gonna go ahead and put the black Joker back in. We will set the red Joker aside. I'm also gonna be removing the Ace of Clubs, which is the get out of jail free card that I pulled at the beginning of the year and I have not yet used. So I still have that one up my sleeve if I need it. But so far I have been pretty happy with the card that I've drawn. I think I've only used the optional skip once and I have not yet felt the need to use the get out of jail free card. Oh my goodness, I'm getting makeup on my cards. Here are the remaining cards. I have the white Joker. I have the black Joker. I keep calling it the white Joker because of the way this little Tuscan Raider is dressed, but it is the black Joker, and we're gonna stick that in there. Give her a few shuffles. So my husband picked up this deck of cards for me because when I first started doing this project, I was pulling the cards virtually on a website called missingdice.com, and then I was having to screen cap that and put that in. But that kind of, that complicated the editing of the video. And so my husband went and picked up this deck of cards for me just to make this part of the video a little bit easier for me to edit. It's very kind of him. Okay, we're going to be drawing 5 cards. Basically, we're doing a full refresh here. Even though I still have a couple more uses on this, I'm still going to draw a card. I will get the last couple of uses, but I'm going to draw a new card in place of that product. So, first one, 3 of diamonds, 8 of hearts, 10 of hearts, 9 of clubs, last one, 10 of spades. No face cards this month. Okay, let's take a look at the prompts. I'm gonna scoot over here so that you can look at the game board with me. Okay, so here is the game board. The first card that I drew was the 3 of diamonds, and that is the prompt. In it for the long. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Oh my gosh, I think Emily's gonna make me finish something. Most of my goals are usage goals because, again, I get bored really easily. So we're gonna have to find something, or maybe it's time to use my get out of jail free card. I don't know. There's a page here that describes all of the prompts, and in it for the long haul is a product that will take a long time to pan, or a large usage goal. I have already done a large usage goal in this project. I used my Pat McGrath Sunlit Seduction Mothership palette for 30 uses. That did take me 2 or 3 months, I believe. I'm sure that we can find something that I'm willing to spend that amount of time on. So the next one that I pulled was the 8 of hearts, and that is something warm toned. The 10 of hearts, concealer. The 9 of clubs is chopping block. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't had that particular prompt yet. And then finally we have the 10 of spades, and that is most recent purchase. Okay, so those are my prompts. I'm gonna go pick some products and I will be right back. I have chosen my products. Let's start with the one that was easiest for me to pull, and that was the 10 of spades, your most recent purchase. I have only purchased 1 piece of makeup in the last 2 months. 2 months now, I think. And that is my Blend Bunny Cosmetics Forget Me Not Iron Face Palette. So this, I think I picked this up in July. No, I picked it up in June. This was a June purchase for me. It was on sale. A sale always gets me. But this actually is quite a nice palette. Obviously, any eye looks you get out of this are going to be very neutral, but that is okay with me, especially during the summertime, especially with as busy as I have been this summer. I just don't have a whole lot of time for anything a whole lot more complicated. These are also really, really nice as face powders. You can mix all of these to create whatever tone that you're looking for. It is very versatile. I feel like it would be a little bit more so with the inclusion of like a pink or a red shade that you could mix into some of these other colors to give them more of a pinky tone, or to create some blush shades. That would have made this palette top notch for me. But yeah, this is a really nice palette. I'm happy to get some use on it. Generally for usage goals, I usually go for 10 usage goals per product in this project. However, I feel like I'm just going to default to using the bronzer out of this every single time and like not touching some of these other shades. So to make it just a little bit more interesting and challenging for myself, I'm going to go ahead and try to use each one of these pans 5 times. So that is the goal for this one. The other one that was super easy for me to decide on was the 10 of hearts, which the prompt was concealer, and I pulled my Huda Beauty Faux Filter concealer in the shade Coconut Flakes 2.7N. This is a little bit highlighty for me at this point of the year, and I usually prefer a concealer that is closer to my skin tone, but I haven't really gotten a whole lot of use out of this over the summertime. This is in my 24 and 24. I am really kind of anxious to get a little bit more progress on it because I don't know, I can't this seems to be very opaque packaging. I don't have any windowing. I don't have any indication of how close I am to meeting my goal on this one and actually completing it. So to try to help me get a little bit of a jump on that. I'm going to go ahead and roll this one in. And you know what? I'm going to increase my usage goal for this one too. I'm going to try to use this 20 times over the next month. Yeah, I think I can do that. For the warm tone prompt, that was the 8 of Hearts, I decided to roll in another blush. I have been working on my ColourPop Drop of a Hat blush since the beginning of the year, almost exclusively. I have had a couple of other blushes here and there in my projects for very low usage goals, but I have been using that Drop of a Hat almost exclusively, and I'm getting a little bit bored. I love that blush so much, but I think I have used it just like somewhere in the vicinity of 100 times since the beginning of the year. And so I'm going to roll another blush in, and that is my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in the shade, let's see, Peach Pop. It's the matte formula, which I don't know why I went for the matte formula because I do prefer a glowier blush. However, I feel like this does not dry down to a powder finish. I feel like because it's a cream product, I still end up with some luminosity. Oh my gosh, that almost exactly matches my dress. Anyway, she's a really, really pretty blush, and I have not gotten nearly as much use out of this product as I would like to have for something that I spent so much money on. So I'm going to go ahead and roll this one in for 10 uses. These last two prompts were the ones that were the most difficult for me to decide on. So first, chopping block. This one was a little bit of a struggle for me simply because the only things that I really didn't want to roll in an eyeshadow palette because I have so many other eyeshadows that I'm trying to work on right now. I'm working on 2 palettes per month in my ColourPan project. I'm working on 2 palettes in my Pan That Palette project. That's a lot of eyeshadow. You know what I'm saying? And I just have the 2 eyeballs, okay? So I didn't want to roll in an eyeshadow palette, but I don't feel like I really have anything else in my collection that I'm really considering decluttering where I feel like some additional use would be helpful for me in making that decision. I have come across a few lipsticks in my lip service project pan that I don't think I'm going to be keeping. I think I will either be decluttering them or I will be frankening them because they just don't suit me, and there's no point in keeping the lipstick as it is when it doesn't suit me. However, I don't feel like I need any additional use on those products in order to help make my decision. What I do need some additional use on is this. This is my Sigma Untamed palette. I picked this up last year, I think it was last year. I got it at a TJ Maxx. It is my first and only eyeshadow palette from Sigma. And I don't know, every single time I've used this, I've been unhappy with my eye look. I almost feel similarly about this palette as I did with the Too Faced Chocolate Bar and Sweet Peach palettes, where I love the colors and I love the shadows individually, but once I start putting them on my eye, they all just sort of blend together into this muddy nothingness, and it just doesn't give me what I want. And I don't know if that's a formula problem. I don't know if that's because the techniques I use to apply my eyeshadow just don't suit this formula. I don't know. I need to use it a little bit more in order to really be able to make up my mind about whether or not this needs to stay in my collection or whether it needs to be decluttered. One of the things that I do love about this palette is the way it's arranged in quads. So this here, this purple blue look that you have with a little bit of a neutral taupe there, beautiful. This green plus a little mustardy brown there and a little kind of a bronzy taupe color, all gorgeous together. Then you have this more reddish mauve type look here, gorgeous. And then here at the end you have a deep charcoal and you have a cream that can be added to any one of those quads to just increase the value range of the look. I think that's genius. However, I also think the in-between quads also work really well. Like this right here, that would be a gorgeous look. This one right here, I think would be a little trickier, the reds and the greens together, simply because they're across each other on the color wheel. So if you mix them too much, they will get muddy. Kind of like what I'm wearing here today. I've got some reddish purple there in the crease, and then I have green on the lid. You just have to be careful not to mix them too much. Otherwise, it's gonna get a little gross and muddy. Then this one right here, I think most people wouldn't consider putting this mustardy kind of yellowish brown in with these purples, but I really do. I know not everybody enjoys mixing the undertones of their eyeshadows in a single eyeshadow look, but I really enjoy that. I feel like it gives it another level of visual interest, and I think this would make a beautiful look. Anyway, so I do really, really love the arrangement of this palette. I just have not been super successful in getting it to work for me in practice. So I'm gonna shoot for 6 uses. I know that sounds like a low goal. However, I'm working on a lot of eyeshadows right now. And every single use, I don't just want to dip in here for 1 or 2 things. Each of the uses, I want to create a comprehensive look from this palette only. So I'm going to create my whole eyeshadow look from this palette 6 times over the next month. I think that's going to give me a pretty good idea of whether or not this has a place in my collection. And last, and I really had to consider this one for a while too, was the 3 of Diamonds, which is the In It for the Long Haul prompt. So I really did not want to bring in another blush. I've got enough blushes going. I didn't want to bring in another bronzer. I've got like 3 or 4 bronzers in other projects. I definitely do not need another eyeshadow palette at the moment. So I was just kind of racking my brain here. I've got a lot of lip products rolling in my lip service project pan. I actually have so many lip products in my lip service project pan. I don't really roll lip products for the most part into any other projects just because I'm really pushing myself in that one. So finally, I decided to bring in this. This is my one-sized powder in the shade Ultra Pink. I really love this powder. I'm working on another powder right now that I'm really close on for my 24 and 24, but because I'm so close on that one, I don't really feel like it fits the prompt of long haul. So I think this one fits the bill much better. I am kind of hard to see it, but I'm right about here. So I have the majority of this container. And no, I am not going to be finishing this thing. I don't wear powder every single day. I actually haven't been wearing makeup every single day. Most days, but not every day. And the days that I do wear makeup, I'm not always wearing powder. So I'm gonna shoot for 30 uses on this one, and I do think that is a long haul goal for me. I know a lot of people are in this project panning things to completion. That's just not my vibe. That's just not how my brain works. I get so bored. I really crave this reset every month where I bring in new products. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot for 30 uses. And I think that will probably take me at least a couple months to complete. And those are my products for the coming month. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.